What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got a story for you, and this broke a couple of days ago. A lot of people haven't seen it, and I don't know if this is a PSA or what, but now they're talking about synthetic hair that a lot of black women use in their heads for weave, amid other things, contains carcinogens and some very nasty chemicals. Now, this report came out. I got two stories on here that'll show you. One has a person that, talks about her time when she was wearing hair weave and synthetic hair. And I'll let you guys take a look at it and you guys be the judge, man. They're saying this stuff causes cancer. Now, I'm doing this video because I don't want nothing to happen bad to anybody that, is out there dealing with synthetic hair. But it's a flip side to this coin before I show you these videos. They're not talking about people that use human hair when they are getting weaves and stuff like that. This is only the synthetic hair where, a lot of people can't afford that high grade hair. And, they use a lot of these lower forms of hair when making their styles in their head. So you got to be careful out there, man. But anyway, take a look at this report and leave me a comment, man. Does this change your mind? A lot of people's minds are going natural, or do you think it's a bunch of BS? Take a look. It's like almost everything nowadays causes cancer. Check it out.
A story that's gained a lot of national attention. Hair is an integral part of being a woman, especially a black woman, whether it's wearing it natural, straight, or in a protective style. But some studies show several styling products used for black women's hair can often have potentially dangerous and some unregulated chemicals. The National Library of Medicine finds some chemical hair relaxers, for example, have been linked to an increased risk for breast and uterine cancer for some postmenopausal black women who frequently use these products over those who don't. And now one report in particular is gaining traction, saying some synthetic braiding hair may contain harmful chemicals that once again can potentially put black women's health at risk. So we want to dive into what the science says. So joining me now for more on this is board certified dermatologist Dr. Janine Downey, who's in Orlando, Florida, and we appreciate you being with us this morning, Dr. Downey. According to a report, there are multiple chemicals found in some synthetic braiding hair, which it looks like human hair, but it's made of like a plastic-like material. People often leave braids in for weeks, even months at a time. Why would these chemicals be included, and what type of health risks could they pose?
So a lot of them are made from these plastic chemicals, unfortunately. And good morning, Janae. Thank you for having me on. This is a really important topic because braids are deeply rooted in African-American culture.
Yes.
So basically, this report that we're talking about from Consumer Report found 100% of dangerous chemicals in the synthetic hair braids, but they're actually made from chemicals that are carcinogens in many, many cases. So I'm talking about things we know about, like benzene, acetone that's in nail polish remover, lead, and lead in children can lead to developmental delay, as we know, but lead in adults can lead to reproductive issues, which people don't know. They can have mercury in them. And a lot of times, like I said, these synthetic hair products are made from things that are synthetic that are not good for us.
You're talking about really serious consequences. And I first saw that a report like this could be coming out months ago when I had braids in. My daughter and I had just gotten our hair done, so I had to get it redone with human hair because I was so worried about this. What are some of the signs and symptoms that could show that you might be having a reaction to the hair?
So a lot of people will touch their hair, like I'm touching my hair right now, and then they'll eat a bite of a sandwich or something like that. And then just the hair exposure from your scalp. So it's headaches, dizziness, nausea, people having their throat close up, people having problems with their skin reacting in terms of rashes and irritation. So I'm seeing some rashes and irritation in my office, but that's been the case throughout time with synthetic hair braids that people in my office asking questions. But this report is extremely alarming.
And some are pushing back on this report, specifically on the methodology used in the recent report, linking some synthetic hair to cancer-causing chemicals. What more, in your opinion, needs to be done, needs to be researched here?
Okay, so the methodology looks decent, but more research could be done. So they need to take a group of people that are, very healthy to begin with, that have used synthetic braids for a while, and look at them. They didn't exactly control for smokers. They didn't control for obesity. They didn't control for history of cancer in the family, a lot of things like that. So the methodology, I think, was good, but it could be better. And there should be definitely more research done on this very urgent and important topic.
Very urgent and important. And it's just impossible to overstate how common it is. Like you said, cornrows and braiding has such a long, rich history in Black culture going back, eons, and we see the braids so often. So the fact that you are seeing people coming to you with these questions, you just can't overstate how common it is.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate you being with us to really dive into the science here. Board certified dermatologist, Dr. Janine Downey, we appreciate you. And make sure to tune into ABC News Live starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. Dr. Downey and I will continue this conversation and dive into the alternatives to synthetic braiding hair, because you do have some options out there.
In today's Daily Health, we are digging into an alarming new report about popular hair products. For many Black women, hair braiding with synthetic hair extensions is a common practice, often referred to as a protective style to strengthen and grow the hair. In fact, the market for hair braids, wigs, and extensions is expected to grow at least $6 billion by 2029. That's according to Aristone Market Research. But Consumer Reports find some synthetic hair, often marketed to Black women and girls, contains carcinogens and at times lead. The findings are leading some to ask how protective these styles really are. And one of those people is Crystal Thomas. She is a medical student who published commentary about this issue in an academic journal.
About 2 years ago, I decided to get braids for the first time in over a decade. And I was really excited about it at first, but as the day went on, I realized there was this unbearable smell. As I kept smelling this, my throat tightened up. It felt very dry, and I noticed my hair was itching, and it was just difficult to breathe overall. After a week of continuous washing, I said, seeing that the smell didn't go away, I said, you know what, I'm getting rid of these. As consumers, we implicitly want to believe that the products we purchase are safe. That's not always the case. Black women are at a higher risk for uterine fibroids, for more aggressive breast cancers, and so on. Is exposure to these products a contributing factor or not?
Here to help us explore some of those questions is Ami Zoda. She's an associate professor at Columbia University School of Public Health. Thank you so much for joining us. So I want to start with some of Consumer Reports' findings, and they really raised some eyebrows. They looked at 10 different synthetic hair products from multiple companies, and 100% of them, they found carcinogens. Those are chemicals that can cause cancer. In 9 out of 10, they found lead, and they often found other issues in compounds, and they also found volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. So my question to you is, what is the impact of repeated exposure to chemicals like this, especially given that braids are so often worn for weeks at a time?
Yes, thank you for that question, and thank you for covering this important issue. So I just want to say first that this important new report adds to a growing body of evidence that really shines a light on the fact that hair products, as well as other beauty products and cosmetics, especially those marketed to Black women and girls, contain many chemicals of concern, and that we need to do something about it to make sure people are protected. But specifically to the report, we know that some of these chemicals, like lead and benzene, are really problematic for health, and that really there's no safe level of exposure. We also know other chemicals like methylene chloride, which was found in certain products, is banned in consumer products from the EPA, and it's also on the restricted list of chemicals by the FDA. So they have a list of 11 chemicals that are not allowed in cosmetics, and methylene chloride is one of them.
Wow. And notably, right, this was a study of 10 products, but there are so many more on the market. Crystal Thomas, who we heard from, said she used Kaneka, and we reached out to all of the brands who were in that study. We did not immediately hear back, but prior, Consumer Reports got a statement from Kaneka, and they said in part that they only manufacture the fibers that are used in the hair products, but they do not produce the fine final product. And so my question to you is, who is ultimately responsible for what goes into our cosmetics and our hair products?
That's a great question. So at the national level, the FDA regulates cosmetics.
But not synthetic braids, not right now.
Not right now. But really, this industry is really underregulated. So they don't have authority to recall products. They don't have a list of chemicals of concern that companies have to check for. And even for the types of tests that companies often do to test the health and safety, they're really looking for acute health concerns like gross, like very extreme reproductive and developmental toxicity.
Right, but these longer studies take more time.
Right.
So I wonder, for someone at home in a line or two, what's your advice to them if they say, I want to braid my hair, but I don't know if it's safe?
That's a great question. So I think there are a few companies that are trying to make non-toxic, plant-based alternatives. Of course, they're expensive, but I think you can, use the power of your dollar to support them. I also think at the state level, there are some good initiatives going on that are trying to create more transparency and greater regulation.
Yeah, and more people are looking for that too. Ami Zoda, really insightful. Thank you so much.